Heyo, what's going on? It is Tim and Lance of Crawlspace. It's a Thursday afternoon or Friday afternoon. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Okay, I think this is working. I think we're live. I think we did it.
We did it.
I think we
did it, everybody.
Did it. We did it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you to Riverside.
Well, let's not thank them yet.
Let's not. Maybe we'll give them a light clap.
Yeah, we'll see where this goes first. Now I've lost the ability to see that.
Oh, little chat icon. So it just
okay.
I
see. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
little
Great
message bubble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was looking for like our music, our old like the Crawlspace theme or just something.
Oh, to bring into this?
Yeah, like the hold on, I think I got one. Here it is. Got it. Okay.
Nice.
All right, let me pop that in here. Main rap songs. Finish songs. Okay. Okay, let's see how that works.
Crawlspace.
We are Douchewood and Turdstein.
Why am I passionate about that?
All right. Oops, start it over if you press it. Huh? Okay. Still get working out these kinks here.
We got one watching.
Okay. It might be me. I'm not sure.
Which is you or me.
Probably me, yeah.
But I'm watching, so it should say two.
Well, we've got well, we're probably signed in as the same account.
We're both signed in as Crawlspace.
We have got a very fun show coming today, this Friday afternoon for our great audience. We've got Scott, our old and weird friend Scott is going to join us in just a moment. And he is going to be joining us with Dave Holmes formerly of MTV.
Yes. So Dave Holmes was a VJ back in the day of the MTV era, and he has an incredible show out. Oh, I'll just let him talk about it because there he is.
Well,
hey,
hello.
What's up, Dave?
How
you
are
doing? Doing good. How are you?
Never.
Good.
Truly.
And
feeling very good.
And there's Weird Scott. Wow, what's going on, you two?
Everybody's here.
This Riverside thing is totally. Having used this before.
Yeah.
Are you okay with it?
I'm freaking out. I gotta go, guys. I'll see you later. Okay. No. No.
All right. Wow. Well. Okay.
I could hear Tim pretty good. Lance, can you talk?
Check.
Okay. I think Dave might have been the one I couldn't hear too good then.
Yeah, he sounded a little quiet, but I think we're gonna fix that.
Okay. Kind of lame that you can only use this with Chrome. What is this? What is this? 1999?
I don't think Chrome was even invented then, so I don't know where that joke is going.
Yeah.
I'm warming up right now, okay?
Yeah.
Just warming up.
Okay.
Right, it's midday.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My Yeti mic.
Okay.
Is it maybe she turned down? Oh, she might be turned down a little bit.
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
better. Better, yeah.
Is that better?
There we go.
Great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We did
Perfect.
it. Okay.
Wow.
Did it, everybody.
Well, welcome. This is going to be a lot of fun. We are going to play a game today that was created by our weird friend Scott, and yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell us what this game is?
First of all, this is a live show, right? So is there going to
We
be?
are live.
Oh, is this live?
We are
Yeah.
already live. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Sorry, we probably
Hi.
should have warned
Hello. Hello, world. You may, in fairness, you might have. But okay, great.
There's no chat room or anything, right? Though for this one.
There is. It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. All right.
YouTube.com/crawlspace. That's
Okay.
where we are. We just launched it, so I don't see too many people in there yet, but I'm sure we'll get some folks. Yep.
Really looking my best right now. I'm so glad that this is live and on YouTube. Great. No, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is real. This feels real.
It's
Yes.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Scott, tell us about this game, and what is this game you've created?
Okay, for those of you who don't know, I created a game called This or That, which is based off the NCAA college tournament bracket games. And so basically you pick 16 items or I pose a question. And I say, for example, what is your favorite movie? Just keep it general. And then I'll have 16 choices and we'll talk about them and come to a consensus and see what advances to the next round. And we'll go on and on. We'll go to the Elite Eight. We'll go to the Final Four. And then we'll come to the Final Two and see which one's the winner. So we usually play in consensus mode with this. So we'll all have to come to agreement before the answer can move on to the next round.
Ooh, jury style. 12 angry
Yeah.
men, 4 angry men. Great.
right.
I'm
So,
in. Okay.
Yeah.
And people could talk about it. And if you, would like to, people will see, we'll discuss the answers. And if you have any stories or anything like that, feel free to share. And for those watching out there, we'll ask you too, if we're having a tough time coming to a consensus, we might poll the audience and see what they say.
Okay.
We may.
All right. Okay.
All right, Scott. So tell us what this bracket is today.
Okay.
I just before you say it, this is none of us know. We will all say right now that none of us know what this is. Scott gave us the option to find out, and we declined because this is a moment.
I actually don't know if they did get that chance, but whatever. That's fine. I would have said no.
Okay. So today's topic is all about Patrick Swayze, also known as Dalton's costumes in the movie Roadhouse.
I've never seen
Just
the
kidding.
movie Roadhouse.
Just kidding. Just
Oh
kidding.
wow! I was like, you have gone like
That was a close one.
detailed with
Just kidding. Everyone can breathe. Everyone can breathe.
Strangely enough, I felt really confident about it.
Oh,
Like,
boy.
yes.
Okay, so this one is what 1980s soundtrack, if you could only have one in your collection, what 1980s movie soundtrack, if you could only have one in your collection, which would it be?
Okay.
Okay.
I need it again.
And I have all the choices here. Okay.
I need it again.
Okay. So if you can only have one 1980s movie soundtrack in your collection, which one would it be?
Okay.
Ah,
Okay.
okay. Now,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, is this like a thing, like if you have the CD or the album or the record or whatever, can you you can never Google another song, like from you know what I mean? Like can you ever consume a song that you didn't choose in this scenario?
Then we're off.
Let's assume that there's no such thing as the internet.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Or,
So you can only have one album at all, and it's an 80s movie soundtrack, or you can only have one 80s movie soundtrack in your collection of albums.
Correct. Right. You can have other albums.
Yeah, that was a this or that, and you said yes. You didn't say what.
Yes.
Yeah.
19 only 1980s movie. I'm all messed up now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Dave, seriously, don't mess
Yes?
me up, Dave. Do not mess me up.
Okay.
Dave.
That really
It
was
was the
not that
second
hard a
one.
question. That was a very basic question. Okay.
Very early
Okay.
on.
So I can only my record collection can be as vast as I want it to be, but it can only
Correct.
contain one 80s movie sound. Okay.
That is correct. Yes, yes.
So that is an
Okay.
interesting wrinkle, though, because if a song exists on the soundtrack and then not on the soundtrack, you could own the non-soundtrack one, still get your favorite song from that soundtrack and consume it, have it in your collection, but not have to choose that.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah,
saying
right.
if you had Kenny Loggins' greatest hits,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
they'd
Uh-huh.
be covering a lot of ground
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Maybe I should eliminate that. Maybe this is your only album then, because we're getting too nitpicky with that, and I don't want people saying, "Oh, I could still get Kenny Loggins elsewhere," even though I might not
Okay.
pick National Lampoon's Vacation as my favorite soundtrack or something.
All right.
Oh
So
my
we know
God,
there's
I
a
can't
lot of
wait to
Kenny
hear these
Loggins on
options.
here.
Yeah.
So maybe you're limited to
All
like 10 albums or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Now this one's going to take a while,
okay.
this one's going to take a while because if people aren't familiar with some of the songs on there or whatnot, I do have things queued up where I could play previews of some songs.
Okay.
So we might have to kind of move quickly so we're not on here for the next 4 hours, which I'm okay with, but everyone else
Okay.
might not be. I cleared my whole day for this.
I'm a fan of a snap judgment. I don't,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
if I'm the jury foreman here, I'm going to say, let's
Okay.
let's go with
And
our
I'm sure
gut.
Dave will probably know most of these songs from most of these albums, I'm sure.
I hope so.
But some of
Okay.
the audience members might not, or some
Okay.
of us might
Okay.
not. But, okay, so we ready? We ready to start round
Yeah,
one?
let's go.
First one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So first bracket, the Back to the Future soundtrack. Oh, nice. Okay, drum roll. Very
Okay.
good. Back to the Future soundtrack
Mm-hmm.
or the Breakfast Club soundtrack. Okay.
This is
Now we-
like a Huey Lewis.
So we have
Thing.
heavy Huey Lewis on Back to the Future. We also
Mhm.
have Johnny Be
No,
Good, I believe, is on that.
Okay.
And as you know, Breakfast Club, we have Simple Minds.
Simple
Just
Minds.
Forget
Simple
About
Minds.
Me.
Sure.
Yeah. Let me see. All my stuff is on Firefox here. Okay. So
You
Here
were
he
like,
goes.
what is
Here he-
this? You were like, what is this, 1999? I had to use Chrome, and then all of a sudden, and then you unleashed the bombshell that you're
Firefox.
using Firefox.
Firefox. And obviously everything has been downloaded from LimeWire, so like your patience if it's not actually the song that he was looking for.
I'm on
Um,
Napster. It's on Napster.
Okay, great,
Okay.
great.
All right, pick a screen,
okay.
Scott. Pick a screen.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we get all the songs queued up here. So if anyone's not familiar, please let me know, and I could tell you what is also on that soundtrack if you're not that familiar with
I'm
it.
Now
gonna
these.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm ready to cast my vote for Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Personally,
wow.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
it's a Huey Lewis, more upbeat, Simple
Mhm.
Minds. I don't know. That song's kind of depressing if you really break it down. I don't.
Mm.
I like the movie. I like it in the movie. I don't really like it separate.
Mm.
Interesting.
Okay, here's why you're wrong. Back to the Future soundtrack. When you say the Back to the Future soundtrack, you think Huey Lewis and the News song "The Power of Love." That is Huey Lewis and the News' weakest song. It's their biggest song, but it's their worst song. And you know who agrees with me? Huey Lewis. He does not like that song. They originally went to him and wanted him to write a song that sort of had to do with the plot. He a little bit did that with Back in Time, but he was like, this makes me feel dirty. But they were like, we want a big hit. And so they in an afternoon wrote The Power of Love, which is kind of a whack song. And it doesn't really sound like Huey Lewis and the News. But of course it was huge. And it was like, I don't know if it was their first number one hit, but it was like their biggest hit by a mile. And he can't stand it. And when he plays it in concert, he's like, we hate this song. And like goes right into The Power of Love. And then the rest of it, I don't really know. It's like Chuck Berry and things that even teenagers of the 80s really could not care about. That was the one thing we never really bought about Marty McFly. Similarly, the Breakfast Club soundtrack is dominated by one giant song, which is Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds, which is a perfect pop song. And then the rest of it is a John Hughes soundtrack, which means even though I can't name any of the other songs on it, I think there's a Wang Chung song on it.
Yes.
There are another Fire in the Twilight, obviously, who could forget. There are tons of like slightly weird pop songs on it. It was curated by John Hughes, which makes it good. So I'm
Wow.
going Breakfast Club soundtrack.
That is a compelling
That's
argument.
Good
Thank you very
argument.
much.
Yeah.
Thank
Scott,
you.
can you give me like 2 other songs on there that I might know?
On the
Aside
Breakfast
from
Club?
Yeah, 2 other songs that we haven't mentioned yet.
Okay, on the Breakfast Club, we also have, let's see, the Love theme, which, let's see. Can anyone hear that or no?
No.
No.
Okay, because it's playing in my earbuds. That's probably why.
That's
Oh,
why.
okay.
So,
By the way, my my AirPods are out on a table in my backyard in a Ziploc bag with 2 silica gel packs through the washing machine
Oh,
Oh,
That
no.
happens.
for the
Yep.
3rd time.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Not the same one 3 times. This is
Oh,
my
did they
3rd
break?
set of these.
Uh,
I put them in and they make noise, but then they also go like "Ew!" like that every now and then, which you don't want. You don't want that.
right.
So
Scott, I
I'm gonna.
just need the titles.
so you won't recognize it. These, like Dave said, Wang Chung is really the only one you'd be familiar with, and that's called
I'm just
Fire of the
gonna Google
Twilight. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
But there's-
actually. I got a second screen going. Okay. Oh, Joyce Kennedy. She was a person. Carla DeVito. A
was
song
a
"We Are Not
person.
Alone" that you would recognize. "We Are Not Alone" if you heard it. Some Keith
Oh, also
Forsey
just
songs.
The theme. The
Yeah.
theme from San Elmo's Fire is good.
That's not. That's a different movie. We're talking The Breakfast Club. He's so completely
said
lost interest with the Breakfast Club soundtrack. Did I say St. Elmo's Fire?
no.
Someone said St. Elmo's Fire.
No one said
I might have
St.
said
Elmo's
St.
Fire.
Elmo's Fire.
I get them all lumped in.
There's an E.G. Daily song on there that I'm looking at it and it doesn't ring a bell.
Mhm.
But I bet that if you listen to all of it, like you would think about them running through the way. You
Yeah.
would
I'm
you
go-
would think
I'm
about
going
the
with
thing where
Breakfast
they're
Club.
doing this on a railing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breakfast Club's the only
Yeah.
way to
Yeah.
I'm
go.
going Breakfast Club.
My vote's Back
it's-
to the Future. My vote's Back to the
Mhm.
Future.
Okay,
Because
well, we only
also the classic
Is this a
song
mistrial?
Earth Angel. Earth Angel is on there
Mm.
by Marvin Berry, which is a
Mm.
phenomenal song.
Is it?
So I don't know. So we're split 2-2. We might have to poll the audience if anyone is on YouTube right
boy.
now.
No, you know what? I'm gonna switch because Dave made such a compelling argument. I'm gonna go
Thank
with
you.
Breakfast Club.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
come on. There's one.
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not going to, due to time constraints, I'm not going to put up a big argument on this one. We'll just
Wow.
move forward.
Okay.
are you wearing a
constrained.
headset?
50s. Yeah, it's like 50s version. So yeah. No, I think your read on that, Dave, was spot on.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
So Breakfast Club is advancing. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So next one is, let's see here. Oh, God. So it's going to get
Fun.
me every time. Okay. Fast Times at Ridgemont High or the Lost Boys soundtrack.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. It's only
Wow.
going to get
See,
tougher
I-
from here.
I like this because you're going with 2 kind of polar opposite style movies. You have the
Yeah.
coming of age, teenage, sort of raunchy comedy, and then you're going to vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Modern day
However,
sexy
it's sort of
vampires.
it's 2 ways to approach high school in rural California. You know what I mean? Or in
Yes.
like
Oh,
outside
sure.
of the
Mhm.
cities, California.
Mhm.
You try to get laid or you become a vampire maybe. Okay, I am looking. Oh boy. I'm actually looking at the soundtrack now.
Fast,
For
Times.
Fast Times?
Oh, I got to refresh my memory. I think that's part of the answer here is that I have to refresh my memory with. Fast
Okay,
Times
so
at
Fast Times at
Yeah.
Ridgemont High, we have there's so many good
Ooh.
groups and
Oh
good
my
songs on here.
God.
You have the Go-Go's, you have
Mhm.
Stevie Nicks, Donna Summer, Oingo Boingo, Sammy
Ooh.
Hagar. Let's see.
Sammy what?
Hagar. How do you say his name?
It's Hagar. It's Hagar, and you
Hagar.
know it's Hagar.
Hagar. Don Henley. You have Don Henley, Joe Walsh.
There's a lot of
Jackson,
Eagles
Yeah, Billy
on that. Yeah, even Timothy B. Schmidt.
Timothy
Mhm.
B. Schmidt.
Yeah.
Oh.
but I feel like that's not
some
a good
solo
sign
Eagles.
for it.
Some
Yeah.
now see, okay. Now here's another critical difference in soundtracks. The soundtrack seems to be a couple of songs that were specifically for the movie, and a bunch of songs that they were able to license, and I guess are maybe in the movie, but it's sort of like a mixtape that the music director made, and it's good. Like I remember Somebody's Baby from Jackson Brown, it's a great song. Goodbye from the end of the movie, Moving in Stereo by the Cars. I mean, it's out for a few years, but it's Phoebe Cates getting out of the pool in slow motion, which turns me on. But then there's like American Girl and Cashmere and The Stroke from Billy Squier and all these things that were sort of like established songs. Whereas the Fast Boys, the Lost Boys soundtrack seemed to be assembled like a soundtrack, where it was all original songs. It was all made for the movie. I'm not saying one is good or bad. And looking at Fast Times at Ridgemont High, there are many more songs on it that I like.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's a cover, right? Echo the Bunnymen.
And People Are Strange.
And the Bunny.
Right.
Yeah, so they cover People Are Strange, right? Which is, if that was the Doors, it might be a winner. But
But the fact that it was Echo and the Bunnymen made it cooler to the teenagers of 1987, having been a teenager of 1987.
True. I mean, it's a good version. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the original. But yeah,
it's not the original. Neither is I Still Believe from the shirtless, oiled up saxophone man. That was a song by The Call that he did a remake of for the soundtrack. But I mean, does Fast Times at Ridgemont High have an oiled up shirtless saxophone man? It doesn't.
Not that I know.
not. Yeah.
And I love the theme from The Lost Boys. That kind of I think it's Cry Little Sister there, number 6. I love that theme in The Lost Boys. It's just really beautiful.
Yeah. Solid. Oh, this is a tough one. This is a very tough one.
And Lost in the Shadows is part of the motorcycle race in Lost Boys, which is a pivotal scene in the movie.
Yeah. Lou Graham going, Lost Boys! Like that. That's fun. That's fun. I like that.
But what can I listen to over and over again if it's my only 1980s soundtrack and one of my few albums?
Oh, coming back to
I'm going to have to probably go with Fast Times would be my vote.
I think
there's
so
just
too.
More on there, more.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Fast Times.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to go with Lost Boys, but when you put it in the perspective of what am I going to listen to? Like, this is all I'm going to listen to. I mean, Lost Boys can get a little heavy pretty quick.
True.
Right.
True.
And over again. Is there anyone on the YouTube chat? We got some people on the YouTube chat too. Please feel free to chime in with your selections too. We would love to hear what you guys say.
Break those ties.
Yeah.
Fast Times, I think, for me.
Okay, so Lost Boys is gone. Okay, next bracket will be Labyrinth versus Rocky Part 4.
Oh,
Ooh.
I know.
Yeah. Hearts on Fire one, right?
A lot of Survivor.
Yeah.
Is that Burning Heart?
Burning Heart. Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, my God.
Eye of the Tiger.
I know. But Labyrinth, too. You got David Bowie.
Wait, Eye of the Tiger was Rocky 3, right?
Was it?
Yeah.
It was in all of them, right?
It was.
Let me double check.
I'm sure they brought it back, but there's a
Eye of the Tiger is on the Rocky 4 soundtrack. Song number 4.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Hearts on Fire.
James Brown too.
Oh,
Living in America?
Yeah.
That's a classic. That's
Okay.
a great song.
I want to. All right. So listen, here in the house, almost all we listen to is old episodes of American Top 40 with Casey Kasem from the 80s, because there's a station
Nice.
on iHeartRadio that just plays them all day long.
Yep.
amazing.
And it's great. It's really soothing, and it's whatever. And then you get Casey Kasem in the middle, and you get a long distance dedication or whatever, or you get you get him really like going deep on the songs, right? And also you get to hear Burning Heart by Survivor a whole lot more than you ordinarily would, because it has kind of fallen by the wayside. However, I heard it recently, and if you've ever listened to the lyrics, they are so dumb. It's unreal. And I've just pulled them up. Two worlds collide, rival nations. It's a primitive clash, venting years of frustrations. Bravely we hope against all hope. There's so much at stake. Seems our freedom's up against the ropes. Does the crowd understand? Is it East versus West or man against man? Can any nation stand alone?
I have the chills.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's
That's
so dumb. It's
That
so
was,
dumb. I love
an
it.
Obama speech, I think.
It truly
No.
is speech. Anyway, it's really bad, and it's like so on the nose that it's hilarious.
Oh, this is so funny.
Yeah, it's rough stuff.
Wow.
Labyrinth, I gotta say, I don't remember anything from at all.
Oh,
I mean, the Goblin Battle. That's a classic. I
Goblin
remember
Battle,
hearing that
Dance Magic,
on the radio.
Dance Magic Dance.
Just kidding. No,
I got
I
that
think this is
on
an easy
repeat in my
one.
car.
Yeah.
There's David
This
Bowie.
is-
There's 4 David Bowie songs: Dance Magic
Yeah.
Dance.
Mhm. Okay.
And
Alright.
Oh, there's a
another
song
one-
called "Chilly Down." I would like to hear "Chilly Down."
Those
I'm
ones are
curious
all
about
Bowie.
"Chilly Down." Yeah.
Well, I could
Chilly
unplug
Down
my
is Bowie.
headphones. Hold on, I'll unplug my headphones.
Oh, right.
And-
But so he sings. Does he sing those in the movie too, though?
Well, he sings "Dance Magic Dance" in the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean,
Huh.
I'm not a Labyrinth fan, to be honest. I love David Bowie and his music, but I don't know.
Okay, maybe "Chilly Down's" not a good one.
Oh, that was "Chilly Down." That's
Yeah.
a shame. Had higher hopes for "Chilly Down."
I think we're unanimous on the Rocky Four. Not a good
Yeah.
pairing, Scott.
Yeah.
What'd you
Living in
say?
America,
Yes.
definitely.
Hold on.
Rocky Four.
Living in America.
Oh,
Oh,
you got a
Lawrence?
Gladys Knight and Kenny Loggins duet.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait,
That
what
was
are you
a
talking
powerhouse.
I
about?
can see that working.
What are you talking about?
As far as your pairing, Scott, not a good pairing, not a good matchup.
What, Rocky 4 and Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Well, I was
It was
trying
God.
to.
Round
I
one.
had a little
mismatch.
strategy in this. I'll explain later. I don't want to say too
Oh,
much
boy.
now, but I'll explain after why.
Sometimes,
I paired certain things up.
Sometimes a lower seeded choice gets in there and has to face
Yeah.
off against
Yeah.
let's say
You know,
the University
Right.
of Georgia. That's my one sports reference. I had my niece out. My niece goes to TCU, and she came out for the
Oh, cool.
championship game, which
Mhm.
they unexpectedly made versus Georgia and lost 65-7.
Right.
And it was rough. It was real rough.
Oh.
Speaking of lyrics on the Rocky IV soundtrack, "Living in America" by James Brown has one of my favorite lyrics, and I'm not going to do it like him, but you know that he sings it with such passion. "All night diners keep you awake on black coffee and a hard roll. Woo."
Nice.
You don't get the words "hard roll." You don't get a lot of hard roll talk in lyrics.
Okay, so Rocky 4, an easy winner on that one. Sorry to all
Yeah.
you David Bowie and Labyrinth fans out there who are watching.
Don't be a
And
David
again,
Bowie fan and select elsewhere. It's okay.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah. David Bowie's bulge in that movie is something that I will always live with the rest of my life.
Okay.
Something that I hold dear to my
Alright.
close to
You
my
hold
heart.
David Bowie's bulge dear.
Yes.
Oh.
Close to my. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, next one. Dirty Dancing
Don't even.
or The Goonies.
No
soundtrack.
question. Dirty Dancing. No question.
I
That
don't know about
soundtrack
that.
made that movie.
I don't know.
No.
The
I don't know if I agree
Goonies.
with that statement, but
Yeah.
a lot of music in that movie.
That
Yeah.
soundtrack was number one for like months.
It was, but okay. A friend of mine told me this story recently. His son and his son's friend were like out jumping on the trampoline or whatever, and they were listening to Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up" over and over and over,
Mm.
and they're like 7 or 8, and so my friend said to his son, like, "Why are you listening to that song? Like, that's from when I was a child, and it's terrible." I disagree on that, but he was like, "This is a terrible song. Like, why are you listening to that song over and over?" And he's like, "Because it has like 3 billion views on YouTube. It's the best." Like kids are just like, if it is the most, it is by definition the best.
Mhm.
So Dirty Dancing was the most popular, but was it the best?
Right.
Mm.
That was a
What would you
parable.
want-
It
right,
was a
what would you
story
want
to
have in-
illuminate a theme.
Right. And we're talking about your personal
This is the first time a
collection.
parable has been brought to this.
Yes. Yeah. Parable.
In your personal collection, you might not want Dirty Dancing to listen to
I
over
might
and
not.
over. You might
might
want
not.
Cyndi Lauper, which has great songs in the Goonies soundtrack. Also,
That's a
REO
well,
Speedwagon.
Yeah. The Goonies Are Good Enough is a great song, but it's the
Mhm.
only one I know from the soundtrack. Dirty Dancing, I probably know every song, and there's like authentically early 60s or whenever the movie is supposed to be. But then there's like, I've had the time of my life, which they do the big climactic dance to, that doesn't sound anything like something that would happen in 1963. And I don't understand why it's in that movie, or She's Like the Wind or
She's
whatever.
Like the Wind.
Yeah, like half the songs are like, this is very much 1988. Why are we pretending that
Hey,
it's
Patrick Swayze wrote and sang that song just for the movie.
not? Sure did.
And
Sure
that
did.
scene and that song, perfect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wonder
Hungry
if the
Eyes too.
producers-
Hungry Eyes.
Hungry
They-
Eyes.
Hungry
Again,
Eyes.
nothing like early 60s.
That's a good one too. But yeah.
Yeah,
The
I'm tired of pretty much every song on this soundtrack.
Mm. Good
And I
point.
have never owned this soundtrack, but I feel as though I do because you hear all of these songs every time you go to a Walgreens or brunch.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I might find more enrichment in the Goonies soundtrack, but I'm also might not.
In Goonies, you also have Luther Vandross is in the Goonies. Like I said, REO Speedwagon, the Bangles.
I love the Bangles, but I don't know this song at all.
Yeah, I feel like there's a line there, right? Like if it's someone that we know, but it's a song we've never heard of, like that doesn't necessarily make it a good song, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I would have to go Dirty Dancing on this one, just because I might entertain at some point. And this soundtrack is not for me, but it is very popular, and I might put it.
Right.
Just all
I'm not
the
on a
iconic
desert island.
scenes.
This is a world. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I've actually never seen Dirty Dancing all the way through. I've probably seen all of it, but just never in sequence. I've just like
pieces.
caught little bits of it here and there. Yeah. But I did go to see there's a stage version that might have been on Broadway, but definitely tours now. And it's like they treat it sort of, like it's most of the songs from the soundtrack and whatever. But the guy who played Patrick Swayze, Johnny Crotch or whatever his name is in the movie, I don't remember what his character's name is, but the guy who played the Patrick Swayze part was Australian and kept trying to do an American accent through it all. And it was like sometimes good, but the key line he delivered, I'm going to see if I can do it exactly right. He goes, "Nobody puts baby in the corner," like that. I don't that's more like Swedish, but he was trying so hard to make it American. Nobody puts baby in the corner. And it made me so happy. And now I don't want to see the movie because it can't live up.
Wonderful.
Such a great line in that movie. Yeah, I got to go Dirty
I mean,
Dancing
a
here.
pivotal moment in American cinema.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Dirty
Yeah.
Dancing.
She wasn't even in
Right.
a corner.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
It's a figurative corner.
right, and if you want to
Yeah,
dance
an emotional corner.
Yeah. If you're with your significant other too, you might not want to throw on the Goonies soundtrack. You'd probably want to throw on the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. And, if you're getting romantic and want to dance around or whatever, it's
Sure.
right. This is your only 80s album in your collection, only 80s soundtrack album. So,
Yeah. Are you going to
Dirty
nail
Dancing.
the lift with the Goonies soundtrack? You probably won't.
no.
Dirty Dancing
although
might
I've-
inspire you to do the lift.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim, did you and I used to practice the lift when we lived in LA together? The Dirty Dancing. Did we practice? the
Definitely,
lift?
probably. Yeah, I've definitely
Okay.
practiced that with another friend too. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Running and jumping. Mhm.
Running,
And-
jumping,
In
holding.
the lake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lifting. Yeah.
Yeah. In the ocean. It's a little bit harder in the ocean, but it can be done. It can be done.
Okay, so now moving on. Okay, next bracket. The
Uh-huh.
Revenge of the Nerds. I gotta
Sorry.
pause more. Okay, I gotta pause more.
No.
The Revenge of the Nerds soundtrack, which I own, by the way, fun fact, or the Heavy Metal soundtrack.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Heavy metal.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, very
Okay.
I
diverse.
gotta refresh the old memory on
Not knowing off the top of my head what is on the Revenge of the Nerds soundtrack, I have to ask: is the Lambda 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 rap from the
No,
end of the
it's not-
movie
No,
on the soundtrack?
No, unfortunately, no, not
Well,
on
that's
the
bullshit.
soundtrack.
Heavy metal. Heavy metal. Fuck this soundtrack.
But you get some great songs. You know, you have let's see.
Are there?
Are You Ready for the
I don't-
Sex Girls by the Gleaming
Uh-huh.
Spires? All Night Party by the Gleaming Spires. There's a lot of good songs on that soundtrack. I listen to it at least once a month.
Dude,
Wow.
I'm looking
Never
at the
heard of
heavy
any of
metal
these songs.
soundtrack, and it is absolutely incredible.
What's on the heavy metal soundtrack?
Open Arms by Journey. Excuse me. First of all, Heavy Metal by Sammy Hagar. Blue Lamp by Stevie Nicks.
His fingerprints are all over this episode.
Uh, Queen Bee by Grand Funk Railroad. I Must Be Dreaming by Cheap Trick. Little Blue Oyster Cult in there. A little Devo.
Stevie Nicks.
So
Nazareth.
B-sides from stars of the heavy metal universe
It's a.
is the heavy metal soundtrack.
If I'm to listen to that sound, like between the two, what soundtrack am I gonna listen to? Oh, yeah. I feel like I have a lot more fun with the heavy metal soundtrack.
See, I would have a lot more fun with the Revenge of the Nerds soundtrack because
Yes.
listen to some of the names of the artists. Andrea and Hot Mink. I mean,
True.
you know Andrea and Hot Mink together. You know, I mean, individually they've given us so much, but when they get together, you know it's going to be good. The
Singing
Bone
Manhattan.
Symphony, 2 songs from an artist named Yaya. As mentioned, Are You Ready for the Sex Girls? We don't know if there's a missing comma and he's addressing girls and asking if they're ready for the sex, or asking the world whether they are ready for the sex girls. That is something that you can spend a lot of time chewing on. There's a song called "They're So Incredible." I don't know. I mean, sure. Yeah, I don't know. I like dumb shit, and so I feel like I might really enjoy the songs of the Revenge of the Nerds soundtrack.
Ooh, wow.
I don't know. That's my
Wow.
taste. It's bad taste.
Shit.
Tim?
I mean, I don't like. I'm not a big heavy metal guy. I recognize some of these artists from that movie. Although I have to admit, I don't think I've ever even heard of the movie, or definitely never seen it. Even though it
Really?
seems like some
It
was
was like
Canadian comedians were in it. Yeah.
it was like it was like an R-rated animated movie, as I remember.
Yeah.
It was
There was
it was like the
nudity in it.
early '80s. Yeah, there was like animated boobs in it, and and it was like it was like the older kids in my neighborhood, the ones who were like were like jean shorts and no shirt. Like they would go and see it, and it was like there was rumors that they would like smoke weed and whatever. It was like that kind of movie.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Set in the future.
Oh,
It had this like He-Man animated quality to it. So if you were like a
Yeah.
He-Man cartoon fan, this was
Yeah.
like what you like snuck away and like watch. You know, like it was appealing
Yeah.
to you.
yeah. This to me feels like a mixtape that a kid on a dirt bike would make for you.
Yes.
You know, like the first kid who has a job, and it's like in a kitchen in a restaurant, and like you're not quite sure the home environment that he's going back to, but he's got a good heart. He's not gonna start a fight, but he's not gonna walk away from one. He's
He
that
smokes.
yeah,
Smokes.
yeah. Randy, you know
Yeah.
Randy.
He's quit
Yeah,
a few
Randy. Yeah, Randy's like into some, heavier stuff than you, but like,
You can dig it.
He wants
You
to
get-
come
you
over
catch
and
up.
play Atari, and so like this is how he gets in your good graces.
He likes to give you Charlie horses a lot too, just to kind of get
Absolutely.
his frustration out
Yeah.
and make you flinch a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's just
exactly.
because of his home life. That's just because of
Right.
his upbringing. I mean,
Right,
he's,
right.
he's lashing out at the right. He's projecting.
Right.
Yeah,
And he would protect
he'll-
you if an outsider came and bothered you. He would protect you, but he wants to beat up on you a little
Absolutely.
bit too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you
He
gotta respect.
yeah. He's gonna do a prank where he writes "honk if you're horny" in shaving cream on the street, like on the big hill. But he does it YOUR, and you know it's YOU''RE, but you're not gonna say anything because you don't want to go there with Randy.
Yeah.
No.
You just don't want to like. Is it like classism, like whatever? It's like you know start to have those internal conversations.
Yeah. It's
I'm
just-
coming around to the heavy metal soundtrack just because I like Randy so much.
Yeah, Randy's a great dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'll go with Randy and heavy metal. Fuck it.
Yeah. Although I love Revenge of the Nerds, and one of my favorite movies. It just seems like for longevity, probably heavy metal soundtrack, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah.
More appeal. So okay, so that'll
Yeah.
move on.
Just for Randy, he's dead.
Just
He's
for Randy.
long gone. He died a
Long
long time ago.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, just in honor of Randy, special moment.
Terrible accident.
Yeah,
A lot of people went to that funeral though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very popular in town.
Okay, next one. Are we doing drum rolls on every one, Tim, or just like every other one? You've got me
Oh.
all.
Maybe. Who says they're all Tim?
Oh, okay.
I can tell you, it's not me. Okay.
Okay. The Karate Kid soundtrack, which I know what everyone's thinking. No, Cruel Summer, unfortunately, is not on the soundtrack. I wish it was,
Okay.
but it wasn't. So just get that out of your minds right now. And versus Top Gun soundtrack.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Mhm.
Top Gun.
Huh. Seems
Top
like
Gun.
Okay.
seems like these both should have been like against the last two competitors, but
Mhm.
that's okay.
It's a tough one. It's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
A lot of 80s music via KCK. I began to really realize how much the lyrics of "The Glory of Love" depict an emotionally abusive relationship.
Oh,
I'm just pull
really?
those up right now.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah, yeah. It's like, hey, I love you, and that's why I'm gonna like take you away from everything you know. And say blah blah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm the man who will
That's
fight
not
for you.
on, that's not on the soundtrack, though. Just for everyone, that's not on the soundtrack.
That's
Oh.
Karate Kid 2. That's
right,
Karate
that's
Kid
from
2.
Karate Kid 2.
Oh, that's Karate Kid 2.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Right. So in Karate Kid
Okay.
1, you have, You're the Best Around, great song from that tournament scene.
Oh, that's fun.
At the end. You also have Survivor is on there too at the first song, The Moment of Truth, great song.
Oh,
by
right.
Survivor. No Shelter is a good song by Broken Edge.
Bop Bop
Okay.
on the Beach by the Flirts with
Yep.
Jan and Dean.
Mhm.
Great.
A lot of good songs.
Okay,
on there.
Feel the Night. Feel the Night
Feel
by
the
Baxter
Night.
Robinson. All
That's
right,
when they were at
Baxter
golf and
Robinson.
stuff.
The what?
That's when
Oh, is that- okay.
Daniel and Ellie are
Okay.
at golf and stuff, and they're playing,
Mhm.
that montage scene. They're playing Feel the Night.
Sure. Feel the Night.
Mhm.
So Baxter Robinson, not because of the soundtrack, just because there was a radio station in St. Louis out in the suburbs where I lived, and its radius was like 2 miles, and I lived in that 2 miles, and they just sort of played whatever, and it was so great. And there was an album by Baxter Robinson that they used to play a couple different songs from, and I loved it, and I bought the album and I listened to it over and over. I'm the only person in the world who knows who Baxter Robinson is, except for like people who had the Karate Kid soundtrack, and so. I've later come to know that the daughter of Baxter Robinson was one of the Donnas.
Ooh.
And
Wow.
I don't know her, but we know people in common, and we've spoken on Instagram a little bit. And I'm 1 degree closer to Baxter Robinson, who I loved in 1984 and nobody else did. So I have a soft spot right there.
Mm.
What's the Survivor song?
The Moment of Truth.
Moment of Truth.
Yeah, it's really
On
good.
Spotify, it's the Moment of the Truth.
And keep in mind, you can listen
I would
to,
like that song.
for anyone listening too, you could listen to previews of these songs. I just found out on Apple Music. You could actually play little previews of these songs if you just pull up the soundtrack.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
just found that out.
Just found out what Apple Music was.
But Top Gun's got 2 Kenny Loggins songs.
that's
Yep.
true.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
the king of the 80s soundtrack, and
He
you know,
crushed.
Danger
They-
Zone, obviously.
Danger Zone.
Yeah.
They have
Did you-
Berlin,
for-
Take My Breath
Yeah.
Away.
Classic scene.
So good. So good.
And for anybody who saw Maverick, when Danger Zone kicked in, all of a sudden you are elevated to
I mean,
that point where you were in 1986 when this movie came out. Like you were back then.
yeah.
Wow.
Like, the
I
power of that song.
I got a bunch of friends together. Tim Polaire.
Oh, nice.
And we met in the backyard, had a couple beers. There's a movie theater like a 10-minute walk from here. We went there. I had gotten an entire row. It was like, of course, fucking crazy sold out. We went the 4DX screening where your seat moves around and stuff. It's so dumb.
Very cool.
But we went opening night, and of course it was so good, so good. And everyone was just like on such an emotional high. But just as the lights went down, a woman in the back row was like, "I feel the need," and like nobody did it. Like nobody said the Need for Speed, and it was like, oh, this breaks my heart. This breaks my heart, and makes me laugh. I'm looking at the lyrics for "Survivor's the Moment of Truth." It is equally, when you're alone, you ask yourself, "What are you searching for?" Deep in the night, a dream is born, one that you can't ignore. If you think you can find the passion and you're ready to take a chance, if you really believe you can make it, then the power is in your hands. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but it's as emotionally stirring as Burning Heart. But yeah, I mean, Playing with the Boys,
Yeah.
by Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That
Great
there's-
Balls of Fire. Great Balls of Fire sitting on
Sure.
the dock of the bay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think this has got to go to Top Gun.
Can I tell you, the one thing that I did not love about Top Gun Maverick is that they had his kid just doing Great Balls of Fire again. That kid would be a DJ.
Yeah.
Like in the world, he would be a DJ. He would maybe play that song, but he wouldn't like be so exactly like his father that he would sit at a piano and play it. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I just feel like
completely,
Gotta
same
understand
thing, yeah.
people.
But that.
Oh,
scene
Heaven in
with-
Your Eyes. Sure. Yeah. Oh, You've
that-
Lost That Love and Feeling. The Top Gun anthem from Harold Faltermeyer, the stirring
Oh, it's beautiful.
synthesizer soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Beautiful.
This is
You hear
easy
that?
one.
You hear that one note
Is
echoing
Top
out?
Gun Maverick? Is that going to win Best Picture? You think at the Oscars?
Oh my God. Can you
think he's
imagine?
got a
I feel
solid
like there
shot.
would be rioting in the streets.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel
Of,
he
like-
should win.
Los Angeles. Maybe nowhere else. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's possible.
I
See,
think
yeah.
it's gonna. I have to say.
I think it's
Wow.
gonna. I think so as well, and I think Everything Everywhere is gonna pretty much get everything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really tapped into that nostalgia. I don't know. Yeah,
And it was
I
a
haven't seen too many
well-made
movies.
movie.
Yeah, I want to see the
Mhm.
Fablemans, but yeah, I think it's Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Top Gun for this vote anyway,
Yes.
Mm.
I
and my
agree.
Oscar vote.
Wow.
Well, I guess I'll have to go Top Gun too, even though the last song in The Karate Kid really just motivates me. Like I could listen to that every day. You're the best around. What else
Yeah,
is giving
that
you
is
more
great.
encouragement than that song? Just telling
That's
you
great.
you're the best around.
That's great. Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
that's
That
also
is
kind of filling
amazing.
you with some false hope there.
Yeah.
Well,
Who-
regardless, it's good to be positive.
Who did that? Who was
that
You're
was
the Best
Joe
Around?
Bean Esposito, I believe.
Joe Bean Esposito.
Yeah.
Huh.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
But
Okay, Top Gun it is. Top Gun.
Top Gun it is.
Okay. Okay.
Have we gotten
Everybody
through the first
else.
round?
No, we got to probably
boy.
speed it up a little bit, maybe. I don't know what time
Okay.
frame you guys are on, but okay. So next one, the Over the Top soundtrack,
no, you know I love
Oh,
this.
more Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
or Footloose soundtrack.
You're
We-
going Loggins v. Loggins here.
I know,
Yeah.
right? God damn it.
But
Well, Loggins was
it's
huge.
nearly impossible not to do that in an
Right.
80s
That's true.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Head to head. Okay, I'm gonna do a reveal, and I did not plan this. I just came straight from working out last night. I was at a junior high version of
Footloose.
Footloose.
It's a sign.
But-
I was at a middle school musical last night. My friends Nick and Elise have a daughter who's 11. She's in 6th grade. She was in the ensemble, and I was like, "We're going." So we went last night. It was opening night, and we watched 11, 12, and 13-year-olds do a fairly heavily edited version of Footloose, which has been it's been remounted as like a Broadway musical, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was on
Yeah.
Broadway for a while.
It's good.
And well, yeah, I don't know about that, but it's anyway. So yeah, their version of it, the like children's version of it, was truly amazing. And it was Burbank,
that's
so it was
awesome.
like some of the kids are like in showbiz families,
Right.
so like you could see like some could really belt, but it was like, honey, it's almost like we're dancing at the end when the preacher going on. It was great.
It's funny because I went to an elementary school performance of the Over the Top musical.
Oh
last
wow!
night, and
Wow.
the kid who played Bull Hurley was amazing. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I bet that's a fun part. It's a fun part for a kid. Yeah, the kid who played Willard kind of outshined their Ren, I will say. It's,
Yeah,
it's
the
more,
Willard. That's the
it's
best
more
role
fun
there.
part, but yeah.
Mhm.
I was not allowed to see Footloose. It came out when I was 12, and I could not figure out why. I was like, "What are you talking about? I can't see Footloose." And my mom was like, "It's about a teenage couple who moves in together before they're married." And I was like, that is not at all what Footloose is about. And she's like, "Well, what is it about?" And I said, "It's about a town where you can't dance and a kid moves in and he wants to dance." And she's like, "You made that up." And in my head, I was like, that really does sound like something a 12-year-old would make up, but it is actually the story of the movie. And but she would not be moved. And so I had to like sneak in. I saw it and whatever. And then years later, it was on Broadway. I had moved away from New York, but she and my dad were in New York. They saw it on Broadway. I was like, "What did you think of Footloose?" And she was like, "Oh, it was so cute." But they cut out the part where the teenage couple moves in together. And I was like, "Mom, that has never been any part
Confusing it
of the
with another
story."
movie.
I mean, I think it was maybe Barefoot in the Park, but that's about like a young married couple in their first apartment in New York City. So maybe there was some sort of crossed wire. I don't know. Anyway,
Wow.
you have a complicated relationship with Footloose.
I mean, just that song alone, though, I think probably carries this soundtrack to the next round. Now, I love Meet Me Halfway.
Footloose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love Meet Me Halfway by Kenny Loggins on the Over the Top soundtrack, but more in like it's kind of a goof. I love the song, but it's kind of like a goofy love too. Like I'm not really gonna rock it in a convertible.
Yeah.
Well, you're a little biased too, Tim, because you were a big fan of doing the bacon dance in
Yes.
Footloose. I remember on the
sizzle.
floor of every bar we would go to, the sizzle.
I'll get on the floor and start sizzling like bacon
Sizzling
when
like
that
bacon.
song comes on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
a little.
What else is on the Over the Top soundtrack?
Well, you have "Winner Takes It All" by Sammy Hagar.
Hagar.
Which is "Winner takes it all, loser takes a fall." Great lyrics to live by.
Yeah.
"In This Country" by Robin Zander, another great song. And then Eddie Money's also on the soundtrack with the last
Frank
song. And
Stallone is too.
Asia
Frank Stallone.
is also there too.
Asia's cool.
Interesting.
Frank Stallone has a song, and we all know how good Frank Stallone is as a musician.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Okay, interesting. Interesting how Sammy Hagar is kind of like the low key. He's kind of the John
dark
Oates to
horse.
Kenny Loggins' Daryl Hall. Like he's
Right.
there, but you don't think of him as much.
It's true. He's in a lot of things.
Yeah, I interviewed him once, and and we were just making chit chat, and I mentioned that I was from St. Louis, and he's, "Oh, you're from St. Louis? You love me." So I guess he's really like, whenever he plays St. Louis, it sells out really fast. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, no, I love you." Yeah,
St. Louis loves you. So.
yeah.
So it seems like, is it Footloose, I guess, just because there's more
Footloose
songs
by
you can
a-
dance
by
to
a
it,
mile.
party to it.
Yeah.
Gotta say folk.
Dancing in the
Holding out
Sheets,
for a hero.
not a part of the middle school version. Holding out for a hero though definitely was. Girls in
rock.
matching sparkly jackets. It was great.
If that doesn't get you fired up.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was pretty rad.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a great one.
But yeah, and I totally got a T-shirt, and I couldn't wait to
Yeah.
Nice.
Very proud
Very
of you.
They
get
sold
on the
those?
rower. Oh yeah, yeah. It was yeah. If you wanted very cut rate granola bars, or like down market candy bar cakes, you could get those. You could get a cup of noodles. The cup of noodles was surprisingly popular at the concessions table.
Wow.
Yeah, get if you haven't done that recently.
Yeah, I gotta get out there.
I guess it helps if you have a personal connection, but you don't need one.
Yeah.
I was actually,
Okay.
before we moved on from Over the Top, I was just trying to find my Over the Top action figures to show you guys before we moved on, but I cannot find them. So
Oh wow!
I don't
How
know
are
if
they
anyone
not
had those.
right within arm's reach?
I
at
know.
all
I
times?
thought they were. Oh man. Oh well. Next time. I'll definitely bring
Okay.
back Over the Top at some point. Okay.
When your
last
categories
bracket
are
of the-
greatest movies about arm wrestling.
Greatest movies that I have the action figures for, but I can't find them.
Yes.
That's a good one. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I have Karate Kid figures too.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So, by the way, no one commented on the headband. What
I
upset
did.
about that?
A couple
you
of
did?
We're
times.
Okay.
waiting. We're
Okay,
waiting.
nice. Okay.
It's gonna come. It's gonna pay off. We're
Okay.
just waiting.
All right. Last bracket of the first round. Okay. The Neverending Story soundtrack
Ooh.
or St. Elmo's Fire soundtrack?
Never ending story. What a pile of garbage.
Oh, come on. They have great songs in that. All those.
That Lamal song, the title song, I do love.
Mm-hmm.
Do love.
It's a great theme song.
Story, huh?
Okay.
But Man in Motion is a classic. To
Yeah.
John Parr.
That's the only good thing about
Okay.
St. Elmo's Fire, the movie.
It's a
is the
soundtrack.
soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The
a great
movie's awful.
movie.
Yeah, I
Great
hate it so
movie.
much.
Oh,
it's so
come
bad.
on. Come on.
It's so bad.
So it seems like there's that Lamal song, which is a banger, and then a lot of Giorgio Moroder, which is probably really good. I just don't know it.
So it could be
Neverending
nice to
Story.
listen
That's
to
probably that'd be good. Getting work done music. I might actually write to the Neverending Story soundtrack today and see how it
It
works.
could be inspiring. It could be very inspiring.
It could be inspiring. It could be
Although
really
the love
inspiring.
theme from St. Elmo's Fire too is inspiring.
It
Song
really
number
is.
6. Mhm.
Became a top 40 song.
Mhm.
I knew at the time and have been reminded of over and over again recently because that's what I listened to. And it's perfectly nice. Is that David Foster?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mm.
Currently married to Catherine McPhee of
Oh,
American Idol,
wow.
Wow.
who's like 80 years younger than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to go with St. Elmo's Fire on this.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm not.
It
super
almost
familiar
doesn't
with
seem
Neverending.
fair.
Yeah.
So that's the Sweet 16.
Whew.
That's it.
That
Yeah.
was
Okay.
it,
So
yeah.
St.
Where
Elmo's-
is
okay.
Valley Girl? Where is Pretty in Pink?
Well, I can only
I mean,
sense the
game,
did they-
Dave.
Did they flame out in the as the tournament began?
I thought about Pretty in Pink, but I chose Breakfast Club over Pretty in
Okay.
Pink. I didn't want to saturate
These are-
with too much John Hughes.
These are the
Okay.
conversations that really propel the game, which is once you realize that a lot of it is just driven by Scott's personal likes, and then you realize you're in his world. So
I see. Okay.
a lot of the
And there's
a lot of the
no
questioning
getting
is-
out.
Right,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
No getting out. And it is torturous. Lance and Tim can tell you it is torturous being in my
Yeah.
world.
Mhm.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I believe you.
So Elite Eight.
Okay.
Okay. Let's.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Breakfast Club versus Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I'm
I'll
going
go
Breakfast
Fast
Club.
Times.
Fast
Oh,
Times.
boy,
Yeah, just more
look at
songs.
us.
What were the votes here?
Fast Times.
I went
for
Fast
me.
Times. Dave went.
I went Breakfast Club.
Yes.
Oh,
These
was
gentlemen
gonna-
have done the.
I was gonna do Breakfast Club.
Oh my God!
Really?
We're deadlocked.
Yeah.
There's just so many more. There's so many more good songs though on the Fast Times one. You got to keep in mind longevity. You know, what do you want to keep listening to? And that song from Breakfast Club will drive you crazy after a while. I think. Don't you forget about me. After a while, you know.
But there are other
Right.
kind of. There's a sound palette. There's
Mm.
some moments. There's an emotional moment that the song brings you to.
Mm.
That, like,
Okay.
you know, Fast Times at Ridgemont High is like a good, you know, Randy's older brother would make you that mixtape, and it'd be good.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
Very
That's
true.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could do a tiebreaker with the
audience?
people in the audience.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Is it
right,
still
audience.
just-
What do you think? Fast Times at Ridgemont High or the Breakfast Club soundtrack? We need some help.
All right.
Sam's
Who's the
very
Sam-
confused as to what the conversation is all about.
Who's the Sandman Blue that keeps commenting? Do we know Sandman Blue? It's kind of scaring me a little bit.
I don't think he's scary. I think you're scaring me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably should have the visual bracket out on like, as the or on the screen at some point
Oh,
too.
that-
You know,
Yeah, that's
that would
good.
probably be really helpful.
Okay.
Here we go. High
There
tech.
it is.
Once
High
this
tech
moves
right
to a set, that'll obviously be like, you know, that'll be
Right.
High
Yeah.
tech.
It'll be there. It'll be,
Yeah.
you know.
Front and center.
Okay.
All right. Well, Aaron said Breakfast Club, so Breakfast Club wins. If we
Oh,
defaulted to
come
the audience,
on.
or I'm sorry, we deferred to the audience.
Okay.
And what was it? What did it say?
Breakfast Club.
What did they say? Okay.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
Good job, audience. Good job, audience.
Okay. Next one. Rocky Part 4 or Dirty Dancing. That's a tough one.
Ooh.
For me,
Is it though?
Would you want to dance or do you want to be fired up all the time and want to just conquer the world?
I gotta
What
go
if
dirty
dancing is how I conquer the world? What if I got fired up by dancing? Dirtily.
That's true. That is
Dirtily
true. That's probably the
Yeah.
healthier way. Yeah. Healthier way to get fired
What
up.
if I am a dancer and not a fighter?
That's true.
Yeah. Although, again, I am sick to death of every song on that soundtrack, but it's probably good to have around.
Right. I mean, do I have Living in America elsewhere? I feel like I gotta know. I need that song.
Well, you're
Up
not going
here.
to have a James Brown.
You have it
Tim,
up
I know
here.
you. You're not
I
going to have a
mean-
James Brown album.
I used to dance to Living in America. I danced on my porch at my going away party to Living in America by James Brown on the roof of my porch.
Ooh.
And then I jumped off.
Oh my god.
I remember those days. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was in a mustard.
Where was
costume
this,
as
Tim?
Well, this was
Yeah,
in
mustard.
Medford, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I remember that. I was
oh,
there.
Yeah, he had a mustard
The
costume.
Medford. Yeah, the mustard. Yeah.
Yeah, dancing on the roof to Living in America right before moving to LA. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right.
2004.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why the combination of things happened, but it did.
I don't know why not.
Yeah,
True. Yeah. Have you seen
Yeah,
the James Brown, like after he had been arrested?
No.
I'll send you guys the link, but it's him on CNN just high as shit. And the poor newscaster is trying to talk to him, and he just sings snippets from his songs, and it's incredible. It's incredible.
That's
Like, he
amazing.
is just it's such an anti-drug ad waiting to happen. It's great.
I'm going Rocky 4. I just feel like that's going to be help me, a lot more. Just keep me motivated.
Is there's no easy way out on Rocky 4?
Yep. Yes, it is.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This changes things.
You also have The Sweetest Victory by Touch, which is another good song. Sweetest Victory. You know that one?
Oh, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Uh,
War was another good one. Song number 5.
but yeah, I don't know. There's no easy
Well,
way out.
Kenny Loggins is on Rocky 4 soundtrack too.
Dude,
course
he
he
was
is.
the most prolific
Gladys
in the
Knight,
80s.
yeah.
No
God.
question about it. I have a weird, not a weird. I hear the Dirty Dancing soundtrack, and I just have memories. It brings memories back.
Sure.
Mhm.
You know, Rocky 4 doesn't really do that for me, even though the songs are great.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
you know, if I want to
Well,
like revel in
yeah.
some memories, I'm doing Dirty
Mm.
Dancing.
Good
Well,
point.
Survivor to shake you up and make you stop living in
Yeah.
the past. And
That
make
is
you start
absolutely- that
creating
is a-
memories for the future.
Right.
Right.
Shit.
What if you need a soundtrack to keep you awake with black coffee and a hard roll?
Oh,
about
shit. I got to revisit this Rocky 4 soundtrack now.
It's not bad. I gotta say, not bad. That Kenny Loggins song's okay too. Him and Gladys Knight. It's not bad.
Oh,
It's not. It's
see,
not his
I don't know
best. Yeah, it's okay.
Sure.
Double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
I'm going Rocky 4, although, yeah, the Dirty Dancing does have some good dance songs. But
Sure.
so what's it going to be?
Yeah, I think I have to go Rocky 4. I don't know. I've thought about it. And
All right,
have
I got to
go
stick to my
with
Dirty
heart.
Dancing. Someone's got to stick to it.
Tim?
All right. Rocky 4.
Okay, Rocky
Wow.
4 it is.
All right.
Yep.
Rocky 4 it is. Okay.
Oh my god. This is the most controversial shit I've ever been a part of. In my life.
Yeah. It's only been an hour and 6 minutes.
Okay, next one. Heavy metal soundtrack or Top Gun soundtrack?
Top Gun.
That's easy. Top Gun.
Yeah.
Gun.
Yeah.
Mm,
Top
Randy can
Gun.
take a hike.
I mean,
This one.
Billowing curtains, having sex in silhouette on a moonlit night. The sex scene in Top Gun is formative in my life.
I keep confusing it with the sex scene in Hot Shots.
Sure.
That parried,
Yeah.
With the
that
olive.
parodied that,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
frying an
Right,
egg on
right.
her stomach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I remember that.
Incredible.
um,
I love how Kelly McGillis's character is not even mentioned in Top
Not
Gun
even
Maverick.
mentioned.
Right.
Could've-
Not even a half a throwaway line of like, oh yeah, she's the president now or whatever. Like
It's
just
like a picture of her
nothing.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or just like, oh, remember that lady who died? Anyway, back to the piano. Or what, like it's it's nothing. That's harsh.
I'm going to go with heavy metal just because it's
What?
a little new. It's a little different. It's a
We've
little
already
newer.
moved
I
on
feel
from
it's-
this. There's already 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, last one of the Elite 8 would be Footloose versus St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, tough.
It's gotta go Footloose. I do feel
Yeah,
like in a lot
loose.
of these, it comes down to
Footloose.
like the one song, right? Like
Yeah.
like how
Sure.
good is that one song versus the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Footloose. It's really hard to beat that song.
Yeah, it seems like they have more songs on there too that I would enjoy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear it for the boy. Come on.
Yeah.
A
It's a
classic.
good one. Yeah. Yeah.
Holding Out for a Hero too.
Yeah.
Holding out for hero.
No, yeah, you can't
Almost
argue.
Paradise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is great.
Okay. All right. Footloose.
What was great about the middle school version of Footloose was that the like Kevin Bacon and Laurie Singer kids, like the sort of love story part of it was sort of hinted at, but like these are like children. So we're not going to have them like have a big kiss at the end. So like the victory is that they can dance, and then it ends on a big like yeah, and it's like and it's the Kevin Bacon and Willard, and then Laurie Singer and Sarah Jessica Parker are like high-fiving each other.
Mhm.
But like it's not like it doesn't end on a big kiss for these two 12-year-olds. It was just like they just had to make some little alterations to make it make it
You're a big
family
fan of this.
friendly.
I know, yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I
That's
loved
great.
it. I would go again if it weren't so creepy to do that. But yeah, it was really fun, and it was like you could feel that like opening night energy. You know what I mean? Like if you ever did a high school or junior high musical or whatever, where it's like you're bored in rehearsal, and then all of a sudden it's like it all happened so fast, and now it's opening night, you guys, and it's over in the blink of an eye, and you can't do anything over again, and there are a couple big mistakes, and people like giggle a little bit, and it's like the air was so suffused with that like feeling that it made me so happy, much happier than it should have.
Was it opening
Making
night?
me happy listening to it.
It was opening night. Yeah, it was opening night.
Very
It's
cool.
it's over. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Wow.
So you better get out here fast.
Catch it
And
quick.
Randy
Quick.
always wanted to explore his creative side too, but never really had the encouragement from.
Yeah, he
anyone.
never
It was
did it.
his dad.
He never did
It
it.
was
Yeah.
his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Oh God, you never saw his dad. You only heard about his dad. And sometimes if you walk past the house, you heard his dad yelling.
Yeah.
But you never saw him.
Yeah.
He had like one of those night jobs. He never really came out.
Yeah.
Drove that
Not
truck.
a fan of the not a fan of the theater. That's for
No,
sure.
absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
no,
not.
yeah.
Yeah. You might even
Unless
say
he
that
was-
he, in his day, had his own dreams, but he just pushed them even further down
Yeah.
and became
Maybe
just
that's why he's
angrier
so
and
angry.
angrier.
Yeah.
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 It's probably
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Hard
poor
worker
Randy.
though. Calluses
Poor
on
Randy.
those hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Randy.
And he probably could have been a good actor or stage performer too if he just had that encouragement. You know?
Yeah.
If he just
Yeah.
had that.
He couldn't do it. He
encouragement.
couldn't do it. He was like, I got to follow my dad. I got to follow my dad. And he did into the
Yeah.
grave.
Right.
That's a shame.
Okay, final four. Final four. Here we go.
Okay.
The Breakfast Club. No drum roll on the final four.
Oh.
Breakfast Club versus Rocky IV.
Okay.
Jesus.
I'll go Rocky 4.
Yeah, I think there's just more songs. More songs on
Yeah.
Rocky IV.
I might-
I think yeah.
We've done the quantitative analysis, and Rocky IV is simply better. Yeah, I might have to go Rocky IV too. It hits just the right note of like cokey 80s,
Cokey 80s.
like
I love it.
cokey 80s inspiration. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
We need more cokey 80s inspiration.
we really do. We really do. Yeah.
God loves that one.
It's
Okay.
exactly what we need.
I'm
Okay,
surprised
now
that
the-
you didn't have a movie on. I'm going to name it later, but I'm surprised that you
Okay.
didn't have an 80s movie on. That would have been good. But let's move on from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was just my.
I really tried my best putting Roadhouse in this bracket, by the way. I really wanted Roadhouse in here, but the songs just it
It's
wouldn't
all
have
Jeff
passed the
Healey
first
band,
round.
right?
I don't even think he's on the soundtrack. It's in the movie,
Really?
but not even on the sound. Yeah, they just have like these no-name songs in
Ah,
the soundtrack. So
Wow.
that's
Nothing got up to a gleaming spires level. Nothing achieved a. Okay.
no.
Okay.
Or Echo and the Bunnymen.
Ah.
Okay. Top Gun versus Footloose.
Shit. Loggins versus Loggins.
And we kind of knew this was going to be a logins v logins.
We did.
There's no way around that.
Doesn't
Yeah.
get better.
Ooh.
Top Gun. Holding out for a hero. Like I keep coming back to that as a rocking
right?
song.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But there was more songs on the Top Gun soundtrack, you know, and you have a little more variety too, with some of those
Sure.
older songs like Great Balls of Fire, You've Lost That Love and Feeling,
Mhm.
Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
You know
Well, I will
what?
tell
I'm
you-
done-
What?
No, go ahead.
No. Go.
I was just I'm done with Jerry Lee Lewis. I'm done with
Same.
yeah, I'm done
Same.
with him.
He married a child. He married a
Hey,
child.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got it. There needs to be. He needs to be held to account for that.
Yeah, he'd be going to see
and-
that Footloose play, but
Yes.
for wrong reasons.
But for like, no, he would have no personal connection to the cast. Which, by the way, like we got the little program, and I like scanned the cast list to see if there's like anyone I recognize from anything. I was like, no, these are children. Like this is literally that's a list of children's names, and like I don't. Anyway, but having seen Footloose as a stage show, I can tell you, and I don't really know if it's in this order on the soundtrack, but put together in a certain way, the Footloose soundtrack can tell a story. There is a narrative arc, kind of. Gets a little clunky sometimes, but there is a little bit of the songs do kind of tell a story and are not just like, hey, we got Sammy Hagar, you know.
Right.
I gotta go Footloose.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going Footloose as well.
Yeah, I think
Is-
Footloose.
Yeah, as much as I love Danger Zone, I think it's a good song. Great Balls of Fire doesn't seem like it's on the soundtrack unless I'm missing it here.
Song number 13.
Is
number
it?
13.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, some of
okay,
these
well,
lists
I'm
I'm
over-
noticing don't have the entire.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And
I
sometimes
see.
people just make soundtracks like on Spotify or Apple
Yeah.
Music or whatever.
Right. Right.
All right. So I'm overruled
But-
anyways, but I guess I would have went with Footloose too because again, Top Gun has more songs, a little more variety, but I guess if you want to be motivated and dance and get all high energy, I feel like Footloose would keep me going a little bit longer than Danger Zone over and over. So
Yeah.
or Playing with Them Boys. Although I love those songs, but hey,
Playing with
Footloose.
the Boys in the context of the movie is the most hilarious song of all time.
yeah,
So-
it's unbelievable.
Did they do that
it
in
is
Maverick?
so
I didn't see
super
Maverick.
gay.
Did they do
They
that in
did
Maverick too?
there was a beach football scene. And
Oh, they changed it to football.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
And they pulled it
less homoerotic. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a shame.
yes, to your point, it was less homoerotic, but they're shirtless. You still got to
Yeah.
see that if you wanted to see it, but it was,
Yeah.
a lot less like good game ass pats.
Yes.
That's too bad. I feel that's
Yeah,
what
it
made
was-
Top
it was-
Gun. That's what made Top
Yes.
Gun the original movie.
What made Top Gun so homoerotic was that nobody knew that they were making a homoerotic movie. So it's just all of these gorgeous men, young and old, sweating around each other and like hanging out on like leaning against a sink in their briefs and like, in the volleyball scene and all that shit. It was trying so hard to be like jingoistic, patriotic American that it came back around and became the gayest movie that was ever made. Top Gun, they a little bit were winking at it and like did that beach volleyball scene to like sort of try to be homoerotic, but it was like you can't try for that shit. It has to be accidental to really work.
Right.
So there was not an ounce of like homoeroticism in Top Gun Maverick for all the shirtless Glenn Powell they gave us. It was just a different tone. I still loved it.
Now, did Anthony Edwards decide to not work out on purpose for the original movie in the volleyball scene, or was he too busy filming like Revenge of the Nerds or some of his other movies? Because he looked a little, compared to Cruise, Val Kilmer, and the other guy, Anthony Edwards
We kept his
wasn't
shirt
really-
on.
He kept his
He
shirt.
did.
He kept his shirt on.
Yeah.
So what was, I'm wondering the backstory behind that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was probably a deficit that was just impossible to overcome in the time that it took to prepare for the movie. You know what I mean? Like Tom Cruise,
also-
fucking Rick Rossovich, jacked, absolutely jacked. Like you can't, start from nothing and compete. With that.
And he was in
Rick
other films too.
Rossovich.
Maybe he was busy with other stuff too. He was in
He probably
Nerds.
was.
He was in.
I could see that. You can't get jacked and be a nerd, and you know what I mean.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know when those movies shot, but probably.
Yeah.
Well, he was
Yeah.
also kind of like a nerdy character in Top Gun, so you needed to have that character, those
Yeah.
categories of characters. That just wasn't his
Sure.
character. He was,
Right.
He was
Right.
the wingman, not the wingman. He
Yeah.
was the co-pilot,
Yeah.
the computer guy, the navigation guy.
Yeah.
Did you ever
not working
see? Did you ever see The Sure Thing? That's a forgotten
Yeah.
classic from the 80s.
Yeah,
I think you can just watch it on YouTube now. It's not like officially streaming anywhere. Yeah, John Cusack and Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards is his cool friend who goes to college in California. And those were like very, he was either a nerd or the coolest guy.
Yeah.
Nothing in between.
Yeah.
You ever
It's
seen
kind of like the story of my life. I feel like it's kind of my life too.
halfway
Yeah.
there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Like I'm the coolest guy
now?
in this group, I'd say.
Well, you have the
Can we call
headband.
Can we poll the audience on that? Can we poll the audience?
Who's the coolest, audience?
Okay. Is it Scott?
Okay.
We'll do a Sweet 16 vote.
Yes. I knew listening to Rocky for all those years. Okay, so final one here.
Already?
I did it. Yep.
Oh,
It's only been an hour and 15 minutes. We're finally at it. Rocky Part 4 or Footloose?
You know what? I feel like, do you guys remember the NBA Finals last year where the Celtics were like good and you're like, oh, they probably won't make it past this round, and they did, and then you're like, oh, they probably won't make it past this round, and then all of a sudden they're in the finals and it's like game 6 and you're like, how did they do that? I feel like that's the thing with Rocky 4 right now. You said it in the beginning and I was like, nah, but now I'm like,
and yet,
I know.
yeah.
So yeah, but ultimately, are they the TCU of this particular battle, where they're simply outmatched?
Yet to be determined.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, this is a tough one. They're
Eye
so
of the
totally
Tiger,
different. Totally
Living
different.
in America, Hearts on
Burning
Fire, some really good
Sure.
ones. Footloose has Footloose, which kind of counts for 2 of those songs. And they got the.
If I'm listening to the
hero.
soundtrack though, like there's a lot of diversity here to Rocky 4.
To Rocky 4, there is.
If I'm
I'm
listening
going to
to
look at it.
soundtrack,
I'm going to look at it with a different perspective. I'm going to take into account my significant other too, and because they might have to hear it too all the time, or what's going to be better for us. Then I'm going to go Footloose. But if it's just me, I might go Rocky 4. I don't know. That's
I
the
didn't
tough
realize we
dilemma.
had to involve family.
Yeah, now-
in these decisions. I was thinking only for myself, and I'm going to continue thinking only for myself. I don't know this Kenny Loggins and Gladys Knight song, and I am going to have to listen to it immediately. There's a song called "Training Montage." That's compelling. That might talk about music you can work to. That might be it.
listen.
I feel like you could write to Rocky 4 a little better too than you would Footloose. Like maybe some writing motivation. and stuff,
Yeah,
too.
I'd be
It's
pulled
all these
away.
things.
I'd be pulled away with Footloose.
Rocky 4's got a longer runtime for the soundtrack, 44 minutes to 36. I don't know if that counts to anyone, but
Okay, another
Okay.
factor.
I think I'm going Rocky 4.
I just
Wow.
listened.
I might-
listened to the first 3 seconds of Training Montage, and it just fired me up.
Am I about to write a novel this afternoon?
I like the Great American Novel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have to go Rocky 4 as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me too.
Anybody can do Footloose. Anybody can put Footloose on in the home.
But can you
Who's
Yeah.
going to
dance?
really reach for Rocky 4?
But with Rocky 4, you can only dance to Living in America. You can't really dance to the other
Right.
songs.
Once you've danced to
can-
Living in America,
I-
is there anything to any other song to dance to?
I rather dance
Well-
to the songs in Footloose. I rather dance to those songs.
Well, but that's the name of the bracket wasn't what
Songs you
soundtrack
can
Scott
dance
likes
to.
to dance to best.
No, but it's in your collection, and if that's just in
Yeah.
your collection, that's your only choice. You know.
Well, that's your personal opinion then. You like to use
Yeah.
your all your music to dance, apparently.
Well, no.
Let's
I'm
think
just
about
giving-
this. Let's think about this. We are living in a time of creeping fascism, of like reactionary politics, of parents getting real worried about what their kids are up to. We may yet see a time where there is a town where you cannot dance. So you need to be prepared, because you never know where your career is going to take you. You might end up in a small town in Illinois where you cannot dance. So if you have the Footloose soundtrack, yeah, it might inspire you to make a change, but you can't dance. So the whole reason that you chose the album in the first place is out the window, because if you dance, you'll get arrested. Rocky 4, however, will get the blood pumping, will make you write your PowerPoint presentation to give to the town council meeting, and will make it so that people can eventually dance. Maybe not you. Maybe you won't, but maybe your children.
Wow.
Yeah. I think, honestly, in this moment, In this moment, we got to think about what Randy would do. What would Randy do?
But is
Would he
Rocky
dance?
IV
Or would he fight?
Well, I think deep down he wants to dance, but
Does want
because
to
of
dance.
his influences
But
around
first,
him, he's going to fight.
He's got to fight. He's got to fight. He's got to fight those demons inside him. He's got to fight the negative, toxic masculinity in the house. And then he's got to fight town council. That's all I'm
I
saying.
think
Fight to dance.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky IV for me, it's got to be. I love Footloose is the best song out of these two finalists. I think.
I'm going to go Footloose. I'm going to go
think-
Footloose.
The sum of its parts, Rocky. I'll go Rocky.
I'm going to go Footloose. It's more peaceful. It's going to solve. It's going to keep you in a happier mood, I think, than whereas Rocky IV is kind of borderline. You could kind of go the opposite way if you're not in a mentally stable state. It might affect you
Yeah,
negatively.
But with Footloose, you're holding out for a hero. In Rocky IV, you are the hero.
You are the hero.
Mhm.
Good point.
Yeah. As good as that
Randy-
song is, it's
Randy's
not
the hero.
delivering the ultimate message. It's
Right.
True.
half the message.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you're constantly waiting for someone to help you out.
Save you.
Yeah.
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 Randy ain't walking through that door.
I'll take matters into my own hands and run up those steps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, it seems like it's like your freedom's against the ropes.
Yes.
It's east, it is East first West. It is East first West.
It
Yeah.
literally is
Yeah.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rocky IV is the winner.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
Chaos.
Wow.
Total
Wow.
chaos.
Well done.
It's funny
Amazing.
because I actually Rocky IV was actually the last movie I put in here. It was an afterthought. It just came to me like oh yeah, I had that soundtrack, listen to it all the time, and I actually took out. What did I take out? I can't read my writing here. I took out something. Okay, but anyways, 16 Candles, I think, or
Wow.
something else. And
They filmed this holding out for a hero movie at the video at the Grand Canyon, apparently.
Oh, you're
Yes.
watching the
Yeah.
video for that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It was
crazy.
I believe
fun.
that is a Jim Steinman. Is that Jim Steinman?
Yeah, it's Jim Steinman.
Really,
I
the
mean,
director of the
The
video.
Majesty. No,
Yeah.
he wrote and produced the song. He worked with
Oh.
Meatloaf. Did all those big
Ah.
operatic Meatloaf songs and Total Eclipse of the Heart, and It's All Coming Back to Me Now. Any song that feels like Phantom of the
Big.
Opera, he did, including I think.
And they
Holding
all
Out for
have
a Hero.
those they all have those music videos with them.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
in
he's
the
gotta
chat,
be
Sandman Blue is a little upset. Sandman Blue wanted Footloose to win as
Mhm.
well. So
Well, it was the
Oh.
favorite. We had to
Sure.
There
was an upset.
shift a little.
But
Yeah, it was an upset.
let me say this, Sam. Will Rocky IV be performed in middle schools around the country? Probably not. So that's
Everybody wins.
that is a victory of sorts for Footloose.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
surprised
No,
you didn't
that's
have
true.
to say anything.
I was going to put that in, but I've never seen the movie, and I didn't want to put in a movie that I
Hmm.
haven't seen.
How have you never seen Say Anything?
I know there's still
That's
actually a lot of. I know that's a popular 80s movie, but there's a lot of obscure ones with like James Spader in them that I haven't seen, or Robert Downey
Mhm.
Jr. They're in the like a lot of these obscure 80s
These
movies.
don't
you've
sound
never
that
heard
obscure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Of. Well, I know
Mhm.
Say Anything isn't. Say Anything's a popular one, but there's some
Yeah.
other ones.
Oh,
Well,
these
I'm
obscure movies with Tom Cruise and Michael Douglas.
I'm confused
Um,
what your argument was, though. You said I haven't watched it. There are all these obscure movies. So
And
you're
then you
you're
named
well,
two
going
very
to,
famous actors that are in those movies.
are you going to try to watch these obscure movies before watching Say Anything? You just don't have time for it?
Yeah, like I discovered this movie. It was called like it's something with Robert Downey Jr. and James Spader called
Permanent
like,
Record?
Last
No,
That's a good
that's
Heroes.
a good soundtrack too.
Let me see.
But I'm still
Um,
confused what your argument is on this because
I
Say
don't know,
Anything's been
I-
out since 1989. Like, how,
Yeah.
how have you not
He
seen it
needs a few more years, Lance.
to get through the obscure ones?
I
Guess so.
I'd like to go for the less popular ones first, and then I'll finish off with Say Anything, just in case, because the other ones might be bad. I want to finish off on a good note, and I know Say Anything's probably going to be a good movie. So
What are you doing
It
right
is.
now?
I'm trying to find that Robert Downey Jr. James Spader movie because it was actually rated as one of the best soundtracks, but I didn't put this one in because I never saw it.
Should we meet back here for best 80s soundtracks for movies that Scott hasn't seen?
Definitely.
Wow. That's okay. Yeah, it's going to take me forever to find
All right.
this. So
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good. I
yeah. Well,
think we all have.
thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that
thank
was
you
a,
very much, Scott and Dave and Lance and everybody watching. This was a lot of fun. Catching up and
welcome.
doing
This
one
was
of
fun.
these brackets. Yeah.
less
Thanks a lot
than
for joining
zero.
us.
Less than zero. 1987.
You just said that's an obscure
than zero.
movie.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
That was the
You've
obscure
never
movie they were
heard-
talking about. You're kidding me.
You've never heard of
Yeah, I
Less
never
Than
heard of it.
Zero.
No. Why is it good?
It's like one of
No.
the. It's not good, but like that's like a huge movie.
Huge
Never heard of
movie.
Oh,
You're
it's
kidding.
rated as one of the best soundtracks, I guess.
It is a very good soundtrack. It's a very good soundtrack.
Okay.
And I didn't even think about it, but yeah,
Wow. Okay.
it is the opposite of an obscure movie. It's based on a book that is also extremely famous.
See, when you're in
by
my
the guy
world,
who
it just...
wrote
Bret Easton
American
Ellis.
Psycho, right?
Yes,
Yeah, Bret
exactly.
Easton Ellis, yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
who himself is extremely famous.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. See,
yeah.
This is what happens when you're in my world. It just doesn't. A lot of things start not
This
making
is a-
sense. You get it's
They're
kind of a
not
mind.
making sense.
The Weird
Screws
Scott
with the mind.
cinematic universe is a strange place.
It's so weird.
Yes.
You were saying Robert Downey Jr. and James Spader, and my first thought was Less Than Zero, but I was like, well, he can't mean Less Than Zero because he said obscure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
I
also
think like
said
tough
with obscure
turf
actors.
when he said that. Yeah.
The Tough Turf.
Well,
Yeah.
There's like a lot of Rob Lowe movies from the '80s I've never heard of too, like Class and stuff.
Class. Yeah. Also with Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah, Oxford
Oh, yeah.
Blues.
Oxford Blues.
I've never like these movies. I have to see still. I've never seen any of these.
You
When
wearing a headband.
were
You've
you
never seen
born?
these movies.
Well, these weren't popular movies, were they?
I saw both of them
No.
in the
Well,
theater.
I guess I'm just.
Class
I'm
is
just
a good movie too.
This
Is
is a
it?
pretty
That's
decent
a-
movie. Yeah.
Scott's a
Yeah.
fraud.
What about the one with C. Thomas Howell where he paints himself where he's like black?
Soul Man.
Is
Soul
that
Man,
one
which you
not-
can't find anywhere now.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
so
Soul Man has been disappeared.
I think I'll pass
yeah.
on that. I think I'll pass on that.
Yeah. Well,
Little
yeah.
tone deaf.
Um, if that had a soundtrack, it had to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
just for the title alone, I guess, right?
Mhm.
For this,
Yeah.
yeah, for the title alone.
I don't
obviously.
want anything to do with that movie. I wonder how the Tap soundtrack was. I bet you that was probably a good one.
What about Good Morning Vietnam?
wasn't.
That would have been a good.
It wasn't.
Oh.
Good Morning Vietnam was another. It was like a big chill kind of a thing. It was like a collection of
Yeah.
oldie.
Yeah, right. That's what
Yeah.
we're gonna get from that.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was right up there. All right, so we'll meet back here in an hour, and we'll do '80s movie soundtracks,
Perfect.
movies I've never seen.
All right.
Okay.
Meet you back.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Send out the link.
All right. Thank you, guys. This was a lot of fun.
This was
Okay.
fun. Have a good rest
Thanks,
of your
guys.
Friday.
Good seeing y'all.
All right. Cool. Have a
Okay,
great
bye,
weekend.
guys.
Thanks.
See you.
Take it easy.